world where equality is just another euphemism for mediocrity, where participation is more highly valued than achievement, where just enough to get by is the new standard of excellence. There is a small minority of people who fight back against such apathy, who struggle daily to reach new heights. These brave few are the hope for the future, the bright shining light for the next generation. They are the ones who will lead us to the places we have never dreamed of, to the undiscovered country, to reach goals only a few can even begin to imagine. Unfortunately, none of those people could be here tonight, so kick back and relax. Prepare yourself for several hours of fun, friendship, fascinating conversation, and fabulous music. All those F's, that's an alliteration and kind of a radio trick. Speaking of radio, you're listening to the most popular radio station in the history of broadcast radio, at least among stations that originate from Chris's living room. It's Curious Times. Your host is a curious listener. Here she is, Chris.
Thank you, Bob. All right. Thank you, Bob. Welcome to makeshift starting Curious Times on this June 5th, which has been a most crazy, insane day. And my sound is all off. My power was off for several hours today. And then because the computer got shut down and there were updates, it's every time it does that, it messes my sound settings up somehow. So we're going to do the best we can with what we have. Lisa is here, and it's so stupid because the last time this happened to me was on Lisa's night, and I never did it. And so I left her in the lurch, and that was terrible, and I'll spare you the tragic story of everything that I was going through that night. But so I resolved to not do that to you again tonight, Lisa, by saying I'm just going to reboot my computer, because that's how it all started last time, and I didn't want to have a repeat of that. So, okay, so Lisa is Lisa's here tonight. Let me quickly just say, we're here tomorrow with Barbara DeLong, and then we're off for 5 days. And that's going to allow Jenny to finish pushing some. I was scheduled to be off all those days because Salva also wasn't able to make it Friday, and I was scheduled to be off on those other days anyway. So this is going to give Jenny clear several days where she can make these final changes to the coding and all the improvements and changes she's bringing here, and not have to be messing around with going offline and back and forth and to the new server and the old server and blah 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 and all this kind of stuff. So so tomorrow night will be your last chance. Let's see what happens if I kick my since I think that I'm using my webcam microphone, but I can't be sure. Really. I really can't be sure what I'm using. And so we'll just try and see if I can kick my webcam and make it work. Okay, very good. Let's go see if that works. Yay! Hallelujah. Hello! Okay, so, anyway, but Lisa's here tonight. She's psychic medium. She's also a trance channel, although you're not really doing much of that anymore, right? For now?
No, we haven't. I might start doing again, but I just haven't. No. I mean, I've done it privately for folks, but, and certainly do it for me and Patrick when we desire it. But, it just, huh? Yeah, right? But it kind of got to a point where, I don't want this to sound in a bad way, but, people have a hard time, taking, do I want to say this? So the way the groups
don't say it then. If you have to ask yourself, then the answer is no, don't say it.
Yeah, you know what? Here's the bottom line. I just got tired of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I just got tired. I got tired of doing it.
I
got tired.
A fair amount of like people that want to be skeptics and all that, and kind of crazy stuff. We need it. So listen, and plus, you're kind of giving up power, really, in a way. You're kind of really.
And skeptics don't bother me at all. I don't care if there's skeptics out there. I know what I do, and I know how real it is, and the work that I do with people, and how it's changed their lives, and yada yada yada. What was happening is people were coming, and the way that we had it set up, is they would deliver a general message to the group, and it was usually some type of it's always from a place of love. There was always some type of journey to get people into that place within themselves, so they can really connect with themselves. And then we would allow everybody in the group to ask questions. Well, it got to the point where they were just the same questions month after month, year over. And, people weren't progressing, and they were relying too much on that. Tell me I'm a good person. They just wanted to hear the good stuff. And then if anyone was ever challenged with like a pushback from spirit on what are you doing to change the situation within yourself, because we are the creators and creatresses of all of our experiences, people would get upset and argue with spirit. And I'm like, I ain't having it. Stop coming, or I'm going to stop doing it,
Yeah,
and,
it's like when, of course I've listened to a few thousand readings, give or take 10,000, right? And, so you have there's people, and there's some of them that they think they base their opinion of how good a psychic is based on whether that psychic is saying flattering stuff about them or not, And I think a lot of fake psychics, make a rather good business out of just patronizing flatterers or whatever. And people that need to have their ego stroked are getting their money's worth, I guess, then out of that. But then I hear them saying people just turn vicious and nasty and combative and call psychics frauds because they're not telling them how wonderful they are or whatever. They're telling them some truths, And
right.
That kind of, I had the one experience with you in that little group, you know what I mean? And that wasn't at all what I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear big stuff, you know what I mean? Like I wanted to know big stuff. I wanted not about me stuff. I wanted to, I know about me. I don't want to ask Gaia about me. I want to ask Gaia about alien stuff and.
Yeah, well, you're a minority.
No, I understand. I feel it's kind of like when I screen like Renee Richards' show and people want to ask about their love life, it destroys me. You know what I mean? Like the woman is freaking amazing psychic medium who will give you names like left, right, and center, and you want to ask about a thing of, get out of your sweatpants and brush your hair and go out. You know what I mean? Like, you want to get a date.
Yeah, and it's doing it again. I'm getting feedback. Did you hear that? Is it feedbacking still?
If it's on you, it's probably
there's this was it was like I think it was like February of 2017 was the last time I had a public channel, and I just. And this isn't ego. This is me recognizing that I myself am doing a lot of growing, and I myself needed to nurture me. And if I'm not so there's a lot of people in this industry, and I'm strictly speaking from my own personal experience. This is not meant to offend or step on anyone, but if they're going through something, they don't stop working. And I knew enough to go, hey, I'm going through something. I have to back up and I have to take care of me. You know what I mean? And when you're trance channeling, you are giving up. The only way I can describe that work is it's very intense, it's very loving, it's very beautiful. However, you're completely surrendering to spirit, and they're coming in and they're using your body. Well, when my body was breaking down and I really needed to work on me, it wasn't safe for me to give up that space and, potentially have some willy-nilly sneak in because I wasn't in a place of being able to hold the energy the way I needed to, right? So I knew enough about myself that I need to make sure this is as authentic as I can make it. And I was getting irritated by the questions. It's like, oh dear God, we've asked this question 6 months in a row. You're not listening to what Spirit's giving you. So then my head was getting in the way, and I was in the background running a tape going, tell him this, and a guy would be like, this isn't your show. We're the ones that are, we're the ones leading. And I'm like, hey, but it's my body, So, so I just needed to take a step back. And I feel like, that was the right thing to do for me, and it was the right thing to do for the people that participate. Now, we've been told, about 4 months ago, that she wants us to start channeling again, but it will be very different.
Right.
And we just haven't taken the time to schedule it, but it is something that, we've given great thought about. We're just not willing to give up that Friday night time yet because we're very, we're into making memories for ourselves right now. I don't know. I'm just in a place still, right?
No, and
right?
That's fair enough. Like I was gonna say, to me, it's something that because I think, like you said, I was feeling that already, and I was only a one-time joiner to your little group there, but I was already feeling like that. Like this is just being used as a little sideshow, like a little parlor trick thing or something, like, a little bit of entertainment for some of these people rather than...
People weren't taking it seriously. Yeah.
Yeah, and so is what I was thinking is, for sure, if you want, you can do little just between you and Patrick, because he's your handler when you go under, basically.
Right.
And get little quickie messages or whatever like that might be of great importance for, the bigger of us, for the world or for whatever, you know what I mean? But, every now and then it sounds like something that because I remember you did a few public channelings and things like that, and that probably went a little bit differently than when you had that same little group getting together all the time, or am I wrong?
Right. No, the public channels are very different, and that I would do again. But it's the private channels, and it was the same people coming. Not, there would be a 2 or, we may have had 14, 15 people, or we may have had 5 people. But there was a core group that was always coming, and it was beautiful to get together with everybody. But some of the questions were, is he the one? Right? Yeah. They're not going to tell you that, right? But they are going to encourage you to get the experience, to get to get what you need to get from the experience. And, but people wanted to know, is he the one, right? Or am I going to get this job? That's not what you come to a trance channel for. You come to a psychic for those types of things, right? So, when we do it again, because I feel like we will, it will be a very intimate experience. It'll be something where the groups will be very controlled. It won't be just open to general public. And, when we do it, the questions won't be asked unless it's pertaining to the information that has been shared from Spirit. And there won't be, I just met this guy, is he the one? I'm having trouble at work. Am I going to sell my house? It's not, that's not what it's about. It's about connecting to your soul self and how can you become the most authentic version of you through connecting to that soul self.
Right. I mean, it's similar to, like, even the way people ask questions of just a psychic. I'd rather hear people asking, what can I do to be better or have a better, relationships, or what can I do to improve an employment situation, or instead of, in other words, take ownership of it and acknowledge that it's always going to be based on your actions and nothing more than that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
right.
I kept trying to say, like, to people, like, a psychic is not like a pizza delivery place that you order up a job and the psychic brings it to you. Like,
I had a lady, I had a client recently that she wanted me to tell her, she has stepped out of her marriage, and she wanted me to tell her that the man that she was having the affair with was the one, and that she should leave her husband. And I said, I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to tell you that at all. That's not what I'm here. That's not what I'm here for. But what I am going to teach you is how to determine that for yourself through you getting in touch with why did you step out on your marriage to begin with. You got to go back to the basics of where did it break down and what drew you outside the home. You know what I mean? So it's all about that discovery process of why did it begin in the first place. Not, I at least I'm not that psychic. I'm not going to be the one to tell you that.
Yeah, exactly. So here we are. I'm like 2 lines into your introduction, and we're an hour into the show. So, so should the Trance channel. Anyway, you guys really, at the end of the day, you can find out more about what Lisa can do and the services that she provides by going to www.lisanoland.com. So how's it going, Lisa? Welcome to the show.
Oh God, I'm hearing my feedback again.
And it's probably me. It's my fault. I'm just telling you, it's my fault.
Oh, okay.
But it's my sound. Like, I think if I mute, it will fix. So tell us what you've been up to, and I'll mute for a second.
Gosh, what have I been up to? We just on a fun note, we just started camping again. We went out for the first time this past weekend, and it's just, I got to tell you, it's my goal in life to just disconnect as much as possible. I absolutely love disconnecting, and I want to go out again this weekend, but I don't know if we're going to be able to, so we've got some family things going on. And then I'm like, can we go out the weekend after? Because then I'm leaving town for a week and going to take a class at the Omega Institute. But so I had an experience recently. A friend of mine's father passed away, and he was 90, so it's appropriate. It's she's at peace with it. But she was telling a story. This was last Wednesday, matter of fact. We went to the funeral home to see her and support her, and she said, Lisa, she goes, my dad had a heart attack in April, and she said he was sent to a nursing facility to rehabilitate. And I had a trip planned to, and I think it's called Antigua, Mexico. They go every year to the same place. And she said, she goes, I had it in my mind that I was thinking about canceling the trip because I wasn't sure, if I should go because of Dad. And she said, as soon as I walked into the nursing home room that my dad was in, out of his mouth came, you're going on your vacation. And she's like, oh, am I? He's like, yeah. He goes, you're going to go on your vacation. You're going to live like you're dying. And you're going to come home and you're going to come tell me all about your trip. And I'll be waiting here for you when you get back. So she did. She went on her trip. She came home and she told him all about it. And she said, my dad, ever since we were little kids, always taught us to live like we were dying. And that's really hung with me. It's really hung with me over the past week, just meditating on that. And I want to engage and have as many experiences as I can have and live as if today's my last day and live like I'm dying, and not in a morbid way, but not put off today if I can, if not put off this weekend, if we can just at the last minute go, you know what, we're going, or camp somewhere by where the family event is, and, just take the poodle with us and just, live at the campground for a few days, It's good to escape. Escape isn't the right word, but it's good to change up the scenery. And, so I'm just making memories.
It's really also about, clearly you are somebody that, does really well in nature. You know what I mean? And so that's just to go replenish and to nourish your soul, and that kind of thing. So it's certainly not, certainly not hiding or getting away. Actually, it's going to, in a way, going to yourself, in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just, it is so, I can't even tell you, it is just like in a completely different world when you're at a campground. There's a trailer just like, 15, 20 feet from you, depending on what campsite you're at. And, you can hear you can hear music from other sites and everything, but it's the nature. It's being around the campfire. Cause I live in a condo, we aren't allowed to have fires. And, I really yearn for that connection to being out in a, we could probably have one of those chimenea things, but, these particular condos are all made out of cedar wood, so they prohibit you having any type of burning. And about 2 or 3 years ago, somebody had a propane tank explosion, and it literally burnt their unit down and burnt the units like on adjacent units. And so they're they're very particular about that, which I appreciate, because there's 8 units in a building. But at the same time, it's kind of like, and here in Ohio, we don't have that many great days, that you can get out and do things and just stargaze. Like, so where we went this last weekend, oh my God, were the stars so clear, because you're out by a lake, and it's just magnificent, because you don't have the light pollution like you have living here in Columbus, because it's the capital of the state, and, you can't see the stars like you would when you're out in nature that way. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and that's good. And it's your time in summer. I love hearing about all the places you go and the things you do. And 18,423 pictures that you take.
Oh my God, do I take so many pictures? It's ridiculous. But I just love taking pictures of nature. Did you see my snail picture? Did you see that snail picture I took? Okay.
So I don't really look at Facebook. I don't look at anybody's stuff. Sorry.
I hate Facebook, but it's a place for me to have. It's like it's a photo storage for me, and it's a way for me to share with my friends. The different places that we go.
And I've seen times if it weren't for the show, like I wouldn't have it either. I use it to post the damn show, and that's really about it. Every now and then,
and on my on the like page, the professional page, I use a lot of my photos to make quotes and stuff on. So all of usually I'll just put my own photo credit on there, like photo by Noland-Shalosky, because I just love using my own photos. They're unfiltered. I don't use Photoshop. I don't have any fancy way of doing any of those filtering systems or anything like that. And it's just raw, the way nature wants to be photographed. And I just think it's really appealing, because, everything's so altered now. You don't even know what's real anymore, with technology and with what people do. And it's like, my stuff is, it's authentic. I can't change it because I don't know how. I just point and shoot,
Yeah. So what do you got? You got anything going? You said you have a course you're going to go take. You got any other business type stuff going this summer?
What do I have going on? It's no, I really don't. I got to tell you, I've been so busy. Not doing our monthly channeling hasn't hurt us at all. It just shifted. The finances just shifted to more private setting readings for people. And, I've just been super busy in that way. And I'm just very blessed and I'm very grateful that, Spirit has provided us with that, ability to do that. And, it's just chilling. We just want to chill and make memories and live like we're dying and explore and get out on the water as much as we can. Now, Patrick's, his work is just absolutely crazy busy. He works for 31 Gifts, which is located here in Columbus. And they do a lot of monogramming and things like that. So he's a fabricator, and he's the one who creates all the different what do you call those things? So anyway, they're coming out with all these new products, which is absolutely fantastic for the business, but it's Patrick's responsibility to create all the fixtures that hold the product in place so it can be monogrammed or it can be printed on or, that kind of thing. So they've asked him to work overtime. So he's working not really mandatory, but he's working like 10 hours over a week. So he's going in an hour early and staying an hour late. So by the time he gets home, he's really super tired because it's been a really mental day. So we haven't had a chance to go kayaking much in the last couple of weeks because he's adjusting to this new schedule.
Still smoking up a storm?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Matter of fact, I need to go over and buy another big slab of salmon and just show up with it and say, baby, can you make this for me? He's so amazing in the stuff that he smokes and makes on that big green egg. It's just stupid. When we were out, now this, you may be like, that's not camping, but, we take our wok with us, W-O-K, the wok, and, he cooks up this amazing dish. It's cashew chicken that he found. Where does he find? All recipes, maybe, I think it is. Something like that online. But he's got this amazing cashew chicken recipe. And, I bought 4 pounds of chicken and everything to make like a double batch of this cashew chicken. And that's what we had for dinner on Saturday night. Oh dear God, was it good. Yes, it's not hamburgers and hot dogs, but oh dear God, did we eat good. It was awesome.
That's good. That sounds awesome. I've been like going crazy with my usual, just because it's so easy for me to make, whatever kind of curry and, naan bread. I made another batch of naan bread today, so I make a batch of dough, and then whenever I feel like the piece, I just go rip a little piece off and roll it out. And
what did you make?
Naan bread.
N-A-N, naan bread? Naan bread?
N-A-A-N.
Oh, yeah. Oh, how do you make that at home?
Oh, it's too easy.
Really?
A little bit of baking powder, a little dash of salt. I put in in a little bit of sour cream or yogurt, like if I have it, but if I don't, then I don't have to. And then just a bit of water, and I don't even have measure the water. Sometimes I'd be better off if I found the perfect amount of water and wrote it down. But anyway, and then you just knead it for a bit and make it nice and elasticy and all that, and let it rest for a little bit, and then you're good to go. Roll it out flat. Get a really hot pan on the stove. And I do a thing which is like, so I get it rolled out, and then I spritz I just get, run my hand into the water like that, and then I just like go like this.
Yeah.
And then you do the sound effect. And then
it sounded just like it.
Yeah, and then you go and so anyways, that goes onto the dough, and then I take like my fingers like this, and I just go and put little finger dents all in it and then that's the wet side. So then the wet side goes down on the hot frying pan, and then while that's happening, I go get a little spritz and go, and then while it's in the frying pan, I do the same thing like this, and then I flip it over right away, and then poof, the rest is just, and it's wonderful. That's too easy. It's just too easy.
I bought a recipe book one time. This has been years ago, and it was a Indian recipe book, and I pulled it out. God, this was probably like 3 months ago. And I'm like, I'm not going to make any of this stuff. There's like too many frickin' ingredients, and I don't have a single one in my kitchen. I am not making these things. I am just going to we have an amazing Indian buffet here in Columbus, Monday through Friday. At lunch, it's only $10 for all you can eat. It is so awesome. It's called, I believe it's AMUL, Amul, India, and it's up off of Sawmill Road. If there's anybody listening that lives in, this area or knows somebody that lives in this area.
You can send a free meal to Lisa and, your cousins in Edmonton and get.
Yeah, it's Adriana, man, it is so good. It is so good.
Love Indian food, and I went one time. It's just but I was alone, so I didn't eat in, and so they allow you to have, they have the buffet, and so they give you a certain, just a takeout container, and whatever you can cram into the same price. You know what I mean? So it's quite expensive for that. And if you dined in, then you could keep going back. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, but I just hate sitting in a restaurant alone. You know what I mean? And so I just had to try it though, because it was after, pretty certain it was after Corrine, one day here I was minding my own business, and Corrine gets a hold of me and she's like, "Oh, are you going to be home for a while?" And I'm like, "Why?" And she's like, "Well, I just ordered supper and it's coming."
Oh, that's awesome. And it was Indian?
Yeah, Indian, and it was so awesome. I think it fed me for 3 or 4 days, you know what I mean? And so that was wonderful. And so then, although I had already previously, there's certain things that I had loved, like curried squid and this and that, but it was more the Chinese, the Asian, okay, I learned when I went to England, it was funny because I went, I was sitting there having a discussion with my friend over there, and she's all like, "Oh, the Asians," and I'm like, "What are?" Because she was talking about the Pakistanis, you know what I mean? And I was upset with her because they're very, there's a lot of discrimination against them, you know what I mean, over there in the UK. And so I'm all like, you can't say stuff like that, and you can't. Using derogatory terms, I'm like, you cannot do that. And so, anyway, they love the food over there, and I had, in fact, a big, huge. They do this every weekend. They order in this huge, funny because I came across the menu today from there. And I have a picture. Here, I have a picture. While I'm telling the story, I'll put the picture. And so anyways, now I got 6 stories on the go. So she's like, oh, the Asians won. I'm like, what are you talking about Asians? Asians are like Chinese, Japanese, that's Asian. Indians are not Asian. And then, so I find out that India is a subcontinent of Asia. I'm all like, I didn't know that. I got to be like however old I was at the time, and I did not know that. So anyway, so more along the lines, but then when I was in England and I had that like really authentic meal, and they laughed at me when I asked for like a fork and a knife and all that. They laughed at me. You do not use utensils, and I'm all like, yeah, I do. You know what I mean? And so here's a picture. Open, upload. This is us having this big Indian meal and sitting on the ground, sitting on the floor.
Oh my lord.
And like, look at all that, right? Like just crazy amounts of food. And so anyway, love that. I was dying of heartburn though that whole trip. And so that night I was having major, terrible, horrible heartburn. And so anyway, and this is like, they do this every like late Saturday night. You know what I mean? Like late, like 11, 12 o'clock at night.
For heaven's sake.
Time to order and so anyway, okay. What's
making me hungry.
So Corinne sent me this over, and from that point on, like I went and then she sends me from time to time like some spice stuff, and she sent me one time a whole batch of all kinds of. So I took all that and I like made my own homemade curry spice. You know what I mean? And like using all these different spices, and it was so amazing and awesome. And I just recently made a little batch because I was almost out of everything, and so I'm down to last little bit. And I went the other day and got some of the some extra spices so I can like throw together and make some more. But it's just too easy for me to do, and I really love the food. So some of that stuff is a lot more elaborate to cook, and I'm all like, I'll throw this stuff in and just let a curry simmer, you know what I mean? And it doesn't take a whole bunch of work for me. Once I make my curry powder, and it's way better than any curry powder that you can buy in the store. That's pre-made. So anyway, I know I have at least one caller that's been there since the beginning. I don't want them to give up on me. So let me play a song. We'll take that call and then we'll see where we go from there. How's that?
Sounds good.
Okay, so let's go. We'll go with this. daydreaming there for a minute. Okay, quick shout out. Adriana, sir. Hi, Adriana. Amy, how are you? Nice to see you. Anonymous is me. Hello, Anonymous. How are you? And Christy's there. Diane, our caller. I should know who that is, and I don't. I can't remember. I can't even remember anything today. My brain is mush today. Lisa's our guest, of course. Marie, how are you? Mary Margaret, stranger, has decided to take a break from all of the hard things for all these insane people that feel a need to get married or something. Like, what that's all about. Anyway, so she's doing all her crafting stuff apparently, I think. Michael and Corinne De Winter. And so, now, I don't know if you're just listening, Adriana, or what you're doing, but we're going to go get the other caller who's been on since the beginning of the show. You're going to I should know who you are, and I know I will know who you are as soon as you say who you are. That's my Astrid laugh, and that's a long story. But anyway, you're going to hear a beep in your ear, and that means say hello. Hello.
Is
Who's
that me? Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Chris. Hello.
Hello. Oh. Oh no.
Oh, I think my phone is not working very well, but this is Boo Boo.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Hey, Chris and Corinne's out there and Christy. Oh my God, it's been a long time.
I know. What's going on? Are you okay?
Oh yeah, I just been really busy, and I don't know if but you know what, Chris? I wanted to tell you. I think long time ago, my daughter. I was so worried when she went to UC Davis. She went to like Africa over. She went Africa and Peru for school, like yeah, their university. Yeah, well, she graduated. Yeah,
wow.
she graduated. But now, I thought she was gonna work in the psychology.
Wow,
But now she's went back to school. She's working on her master's to get her education, dual education and special ed and education. And I remember you had somebody on your show, and I want to say it was Astrid, but I'm not sure. Maybe it was, but I was so worried of what she was going to be when she graduated from UC Davis. She's in anthropology, psychology, and she told me no, she's going to be a teacher, and that's what she's going for now. 10 years later, she's going to be a teacher.
That's funny that you say that, especially if it was Astrid, because all of a sudden right before then I said, oh, that's my Astrid laugh, you know what I mean? And so that's weird. And I haven't talked to Astrid in a long time, and I don't say that often, so that's kind of weird. See, accidental psychic right here. And so did you want to talk to Lisa, or were you just listening, or what?
Well, I was wondering, now that I'm on the phone, I was going to listen, but now that you've got me out, I think I'll just kind of, get out of the closet here and talk. So, Lisa, I was wondering, now that my daughter, she's pregnant, and will she have more babies?
So, yes. The answer is yes.
Yay!
I feel like she could have upwards to 3. I feel like she'll definitely have 2, and then they'll be like, it feels like there's a pause and there's question and I'm not sure and maybes, and then all of a sudden I feel like they just bring one more in and then the factory's closed.
I think you're right, because I'm talking to her and she said, oh, Michael, her husband, he wants 3 kids. So I think you're right on that. Oh, wow. I'm going to be grandmother 3 times.
Yeah. Now, is this your only child, please?
Oh, well, she's my only one I think is going to have a child, because the other ones are just, all they do is they want to go to school, and well, just like this one, but I'm ready. I'm at the age that I want them to have kids now, but they don't want to yet.
Yeah.
But,
No, this one, okay, so is she like 4 to 5 months pregnant now?
no, she's almost going to deliver. She's like 8 months.
Okay. Is she small is she really small, like doesn't look like she's 8 months pregnant?
You're right. She looks like she's 4 or 5 months pregnant, actually. She's tiny. She's really, she weighs like 100 pounds and she only gained like 15 pounds or something. She's tiny.
She's a tiny little thing. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't feel like she's going to have, even though she's really small framed and all that, it really doesn't feel like she's going to have any problems. Feels like she's had a pretty, I'll call it unremarkable pregnancy, meaning she's done well. Like she must exercise and stuff and just keep herself really fit and she's really just kind of moving through it without any problems really.
Oh yeah, she's the one that was got her degree in anthropology, and like I was talking to Chris like a long time ago. She's the one who likes to hike and camp and everything. Yes.
Yeah. So I have a girlfriend who she teaches Kundalini yoga, and she's very earthy, and they try to eat vegetarian, vegan, that kind of thing. She wanted to, I have to giggle because she's like, I want to do this all natural. I want to try and have a water birth if we can. And, and she would come to me, and as a matter of fact, she wants to bring the baby over now that she's born, but, she would come to me every few weeks and we would connect her in with Gaia, and Gaia kept saying to her, in a nutshell, I know that you want to have a natural pregnancy and a natural birth, but be open to the idea of the assistance of the medical system if you desire it, right? She just kept putting it out. She didn't even get dilated 4 centimeters. She's like, give me drugs. and I've never had kids, so I don't know what that's like, but it just makes me giggle. Oh. And I feel like your daughter's the same way. I feel like she's teetering on, I want to do this naturally, and I'm going to say to her, just keep her mind open on the fact that that's what the drugs have been created for, is to have it not be as stressful on her and the baby.
Yeah.
That's my belief.
You're right, because if you're stressed, the baby can feel that stress. So I told her she wants to do it naturally. But like, I'm a nurse, so I told her, if you need that extra help, honey, you need it because you don't want to put stress on the baby.
Right. Right. And they tried. She really did. She really tried, and that was her mindset going in. She was even doing like these hypnotic breathing exercises, all of this preparation, and she had what do you call it when you have somebody that oh shoot.
A doula?
Yeah, they had a doula. Thank you. I was like, what is that where you have to say that?
Yeah, my daughter has a doula. It's natural relaxation and that's my daughter.
Right. That all went out the window. When she got to the hospital.
The first contraction.
Yeah, she got to 4 centimeters. She's like, nope, I need help. Give it to me. Because there's a threshold, if I'm understanding correctly. Again, I've never had children, so I don't know, but I believe there comes a point where you can't turn back, and you have to keep pushing forward and not get that assistance. And so it's interesting that Spirit is talking about that. And women have been having babies for thousands of years, and they've done it naturally. I mean, my dad even was like the last one born at home. Out of 14 children, he was the last one born at home, and in the 40s, right? But we've made such advances in medical that the mothers don't have to suffer. The mothers don't have to have that painful experience. So just encourage her to be open, not closed-minded, but open that there is help if she needs it.
Mhm. Yeah, that sounds just like my daughter. She has a doula. She meditates. She does exercise while she's pregnant, and she's doing very well, and she's eating good. Well, she tends to be a little bit vegetarian, vegan, or vegetarian anyway, so she doesn't eat.
So my friend and I feel like this is something that your daughter would do too. My friend, they had some of the most amazing photographs taken of her pregnant, in these yoga poses. Like it was, they're absolutely gorgeous. Like the photos are just absolutely gorgeous. And, so they documented every aspect of the pregnancy, even her doing all of these beautiful poses. And, it's still her Facebook profile. It's absolutely amazing. And she was really tiny. I mean, she's probably, she was soaking wet, 110, 115 pounds soaking wet, so she was tiny. And,
that sounds like my daughter. Yep. Wow.
So I feel like your daughter is also going to be breastfeeding as well?
Yes.
Okay.
She is.
So, a lot of that, what my friend is finding is the word that I want to give your daughter is the rhythm. She'll find her rhythm. Tell her not to get frustrated, but just to find the rhythm of what that feels like. My friend was pumping one day when I was over there, and she's like, "Oh, it's just so painful." And she's like, "I just want the pain to stop." And I'm like, but you'll find your rhythm. You'll find, if this is something she really wants to do, tell her not to give up on it, but just to keep breathing through it and to find the rhythm of what works for her. And don't be, it's very interesting. It's like, don't be afraid to ask for help. Because I feel like your daughter's very strong-willed and strong-minded, that she may not ask for help. Does that make sense? She may feel weak asking for help. And
because she wants to stay away from medication. But I'm going to be there, so I will be her voice.
Yeah, that'll be good. That's fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic. Well, I'm excited for you because I know that's especially since this is your first, correct? This is your first grandbaby?
Yeah, I have 3 kids, and
she's
my
having a girl?
middle one.
She's having a girl?
She doesn't want to know. She's wants it to be a surprise, so, she doesn't want to know. So. But she's pretty smart, though. She said, I don't want to know, so when I have another child, I can use, like, the clothes and stuff at the beginning because it's going to be unisex clothes and stuff. So and she doesn't believe in gender. She doesn't believe that boys need to be wearing boys' clothes and girls. So she doesn't care.
I feel so sorry for that kid if she has a girl at first and a boy second. The boy has to wear dresses.
I know. That's why she says she doesn't want to know what it is, so they can wear their clothes again.
Okay.
Yay!
It feels like a little feminine energy. So I'll be anxious to find out.
Yay! I know. So excited. Oh my gosh.
Wow, don't be such a stranger.
I know. I've been so busy. Now I'm working at the college. I have 2 classes at the college, so I'm doing that, and my nursing. I'm a nursing instructor, and I'm a medical assistant instructor Monday through Friday for the kids, but they're out of high school, so it's been busy.
That's awesome because when I first met you was after you had that and it was plaguing you for a couple of years, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like happened to you, and so. Sounds like your full swing teaching is all good and everything like that, and that's all.
Yeah. So I didn't want to teach anymore.
Yeah.
But, like I said, Chris, you helped me out in those dim days, so I want to thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yay. Alrighty, I'm going to listen.
Hey, thanks, and really good to hear from you. I'll try to remember next week. I probably won't remember. I'll see that name again, and I'll go, because it's whoever pays your bill is the name that shows up on the thing, and so I'll see that name again and go, I don't know I should know who this is, but I don't, and so, anyway, let's go get Adriana. She wants to talk to you. She hasn't talked to you before, I guess, so hi, Adriana.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
How are you, Adriana? So
I'm good. How are you?
This is like the first time I've actually talked to somebody that lives in the same town.
That's cool.
That's great. So what questions do you have for me, darling?
Any message Spirit has to give to me at this current moment? I'm opening up to my spirituality. Anything in regards to that, if possible.
How old are you, hon? 27?
29.
Okay. It's, how do I want to describe what I'm feeling for you? So this is what I want to say to you. I feel like there's a tug of war going on within you. You want to open up, but there's some resistance as to who will you be if you do, and what will people think of you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Is there some like religious factor in this? Like, so I grew up a Baptist, and I got to tell you, when I first came into this gift, it was a real struggle. Like, I just resisted tooth and nail, doing what it was just like, oh my God, this can't be real. This is a sin, right? There's some type of resistance. It's like a push-pull, but it feels like, here's what I want to say to you. You're going to lose friends. There's going to be family that's going to think you're crazy, but you're going to make new friends, and you're going to find people that are your tribe, that are your true family, because the people you're born through and to aren't necessarily the people that, are your family. Does that make sense? They may be your family because that's where you grew up, and they're very nice people. But I have friends that I feel closer to than I do my own siblings. It just happens because they don't believe the way I believe. So you start to pull away from and form new friendships, new relationships. And I feel like you're resisting, because it's too hard to lose people that you've perhaps loved or cared for your whole life. That doesn't mean you have to lose them, and that doesn't mean you have to stop caring for them. But you may not necessarily resonate with them, and you will draw to you new people that you do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm definitely, going out there. Like I said, I saw your name in the Reiki Center. I'm, meeting up with like-minded people. My thing is like, I need to gain more confidence. Like,
Sure.
That's my whole thing, because my spouse, he supports me in it. My mom, she's very supportive. She accepts what I'm doing. So it's just more like, okay, yes, I can do it. And, I communicate, but then it's like I get scared and I'm not confident.
Sure. Yeah, and that's fantastic that you have a support system like that. It really is. I don't know if you have ever heard of a store called Mystic Sisters. They're down in...
Yes, I actually went there.
So I work out of there every Thursday. I work out of there every Thursday.
Nice.
12 to 7 every Thursday. So if you ever want to stop in and just, sit down and have a chat or whatever, they've got a little sitting area, and they encourage people to come in and just, meet other like-minded people. This community, you're very fortunate. Columbus is a mecca for spirituality. There are so many places and so many people. There's the All Life Center. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. But it's up towards Delaware, like you're going up 23. I believe it's off of Home Road. Don't quote me on that, but, All Life Center. Look that up. They have all kinds of classes and stuff there. There's, Phoenix Books. Every Friday night, they do a talk there for a $5 donation. You can attend the talk. and you can get on his email list and see what the different talks are and learn about the different things that people are coming in and communicating about. Some of it's energy, some of it's hypnosis, and there's a gal that comes in and talks about star beings and the books that she's written about her alien communication since she was a kid. There's several churches in the community that do message services. There's one in, I think it's, is it Gahanna? There's one in Gahanna. There's one down in, it's off of, it's down by Grant Hospital, down off of West, I think it's 6th Street, I think. Grant Hospital down by 6th. It's called, Columbus Christian Spiritualist Church or something like that. You'll have to look it up.
Okay.
But it's a fantastic place too. The first Saturday of every month, you pay, it used to be $20. I don't know if it still is, but you pay $20 and, you can get as many readings as there are people there. I used to do readings out of that church down there, but it's been years. And obviously the Reiki Center is a fantastic place to meet people. The different classes that they offer there are amazing. There's Key Empowerment. That's another place that offers classes. The list goes on. I mean, there are just so many amazing things that you can get into in this community. Not to mention all the, there's Numinous Zoe. That's another place. There is, if you get into meetup.com, you can surf around and see the different meetup groups that are available here in Columbus. There's a group over in Gahanna that meets once a month and does a spirit walk. They're a paranormal group. Gosh, there's just, if you friend me on, ask me to be your friend on Facebook, I can connect you with some of these things that happen in the community and just, you just see if it's stuff that you want to get into. And
you said you're at Mystic Sisters 12 to 7 on what days?
Thursdays. Every Thursday.
Every Thursday? Oh, okay. So tomorrow?
Yep.
No, not tomorrow.
No, tomorrow's Wednesday. Yeah.
Tomorrow's Wednesday. Okay, Thursday.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay.
And, but there's a lot of really neat people that come in and out of there and just sit and, and chat. And, they're just, the sisters that own the store are just, they're just great. They're just really great. And, so this is, if you're going to open yourself up, this is a beautiful community to do it in. There's such a blended energy here, and it's just, and then I'm not sure if you're aware, but they have the psychic fairs. There are several that are held in Columbus a year.
Yes, I've been to them. That's how I met Kathleen Moore. And I've been to the one in Cleveland and Columbus.
Okay. There's a thing, I don't know if you've ever heard of Root Wire. There's a big event going on. I think it starts this Thursday. You can look it up. It's called Root, ROOT Wire, and it's a big spiritual event. I call it a hippie fest. It's down, what is it? Pomeroy, Ohio. It's down below Athens. There's just all kinds of, there's drumming circles that happen, every month at different places around town. But it's just a matter of just meeting people and gaining the confidence and just learning more about, it's about tapping into your own inner self. And I can't stress enough how important it is to just find quiet time to just sit with yourself, journal, meditate, do breathing techniques, and just really listen to that inner guidance of what Spirit is trying to share with you. And just be open. Just be open to what that guidance may be.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'll try to go to the Mystic Sisters.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to come in for a reading. You just come in and hang out and just sit with us and just feel the energy. And, every once in a while, if we're not busy, we'll just throw cards down and I don't read the tarot, but I can. I just don't use it as a tool with clients. So we'll just sit and play and do readings for each other with the cards and, throw stones and do all kinds of fun stuff. So, and it's just a beautiful store. They've got a really good energy.
Yes. I went with my daughter this weekend that passed, and she loves crystals, and she was like, "Oh, Mommy, I want this one, I want that one."
Yeah. And something else that's coming up. Why have you been attending the Reiki Center? Are you learning Reiki, or are you just getting Reiki? What's been happening?
No, I actually went to a workshop they had, shamanic journeying. I was called to it with Heidi House, and I did that, and then my daughter went to the children's Reiki, and she got Reiki, and then they gave me like a free mini Reiki session, and it was really good. It was interesting.
Yeah, I would absolutely ask you to consider keep going to those, those Reiki shares, and if finances allow, that is one awesome way to start, opening up to spirit, is getting the Reiki attunement. It just helps you to start, understanding the subtle vibrations of energy, and more than you think you know, is what I want to say. Okay. And it just helps you recognize, wow, I really do know a lot. I know more than I think I know.
Mhm. Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I can't wait to meet you.
Likewise, darling. Likewise.
It'll be like a fan meeting you. You've seen this.
Have a great evening.
All right, darling. You do the same.
Hey, Adrienne. Thank you. Okay, now there's Amy is listening there, and Mary Margaret. If either of you wants to come on, unmute your damn self. And if there's anybody else, you better do her now, because we're probably gonna wrap it up then if we're done, you guys. Yeah, if you want to wrap, I'm cool. And so we'll give them a quick minute and see if anybody else is gonna jump. If anybody else is gonna jump, let me check the chat room. So talking about Windows 10 again. Okay. It looks like that's it then. So you guys, okay, first of all, find Lisa's mostly for the benefit of people that are listening to us on YouTube or any of the other platforms that IntuiTalks broadcast to. You can find Lisa's website at www.lisanoland.com, and on Facebook, same name, just Google her, for crying out loud. And tomorrow we have Barbara DeLong, and then we're going to be off for 5 days, and then hopefully we'll be coming back to some brand new changes. I have no idea what the new stuff is going to be like or anything like that. No idea, and so it'll be a big surprise for all of us, I guess. And anyways, we're back here tomorrow night. Barbara's always got something interesting for us to talk about as well, and so I'm sure it'll be an interesting show. Lisa, thank you again. Have fun with your summer, and yes. we see you again on the 19th. And I pray that my power doesn't go up. See, I would not have I never turn my computer off, right? And so unless if my computer suddenly gets sluggish or something like that happens, then I do. And then whatever update has been sitting and waiting all that time, hits me, and then kaboom. You know what I mean? I don't. Yeah. About the last 4 updates, and before that, it didn't affect me like this. Every now and then, my camera might goof up a little bit on me or something like that. Like I would have to try a couple of times to get the camera on, but after an update, but never this sound problem like that. And so I will try my hardest to not touch anything on my computer the day that we're gonna. Because like tomorrow it'll be fine, because I'm gonna have to reboot again after and see if that clears it up. You know what I mean? But it's just ridiculous. I don't understand what the heck what the heck is going on. I might have to redo drivers, or I don't really understand it myself. But anyway, I do appreciate your patience with me in that. And like I say, we'll see you in a couple of weeks. And thank you so much for your time and continuing to do the show with us.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always I love being here, Chris. So as long as you're happy.
Of course, we love having you, and thank you for being happy.
Okay. All right, guys. Good night.
We're out of here, guys. Take care. Thank you so much. Peace out.